You have enormous power, enormous capabilities. April 10, 2014. Time, as you experience it in the illusion, is accelerating. The reason for that is because more and more of you are focusing on the now moment, which is quite free of the limitations that the construct of time imposes upon you. You are making your way into wakefulness, where time is no more, and as you do so it appears to be accelerating and taking you along with it. It's quite an adventure, is it not? And of course it leads to the cessation of time altogether. You have a saying time is of the essence, and within the illusion that certainly seems to be the case, as everyone is almost constantly running to keep up with themselves, to make deadlines, to attend meetings, and when occasionally you get left behind, the world flows on unaware, and seemingly uncaringly. This is not a happy state because you then have to defer or cancel some of those things you were planning on doing, which at the time seemed incredibly important. It is depressing for you and can lead to a self-judgment that you are not good enough, strong enough, resourceful enough compared to others who seem to cope so well. Time is confusing, very confusing for you because it is so unstable, especially when you must rely on its stability. Your atomic clocks are incredibly precise in their measuring of its passing, but all they really measure is the frequency of their own energy fluctuations, which is useful in a physical or scientific sense, because very precise spatial relationships can be established between things. But time is what you experience as you wait for something to happen or to pass. It is purely experiential and, depending on the intensity and direction of your expectations, the same amount of measured time can seem long, short, or normal. That sensation is quite personal to you, individuated and separated as you are, and therefore confirms for you the reality of the illusion and your aloneness in a vast and uncaring universe, in which you are engaged in an unending struggle to survive. Here the concept of oneness makes absolutely no sense, is quite incomprehensible, another insane idea that is best ignored or discarded. Consequently, nearly all of the mystics, masters, enlightened ones, and we in the spiritual realms advise you to make a very determined effort to live in the now moment, the only moment that has real meaning, because everything that happens now. Despairing about the past or worrying about the future is an incredible and quite unnecessary drain on your energy. Yes, in the illusion it seems that intelligent, creative, and highly motivated people can, as it were, move mountains. That is, they build railroads, superhighways, space shuttles, weapons systems, etc. But all of these are illusory and will not last because within the illusion everything, and there are no exceptions here, decays, falls apart, and disintegrates. Focusing on the now moment is a spiritual exercise that helps you to clear your minds of extraneous distractions and draws you irresistibly towards your inevitable awakening, into your natural state as fully conscious beings, whereupon all the limitations of the illusory world just fall away. As you each raise your level of consciousness, your awareness, through meditation, contemplation, or by focusing on that ever-present now moment, you find your physical needs becoming fewer and fewer. Along with that, your peace and contentment grow proportionately, your remaining worries dissolve, and you know that all is divinely taken care of, and therefore, of course, that you have absolutely nothing to worry about. And that produces a most wonderfully stress-reducing and blood pressure-reducing state of alert relaxation. And your doctors and scientists do agree that meditation is good for you. So even if you do not seem to be achieving wonderful moments of clarity, enlightenment, or some other highly sought illuminating and uplifting experience, do allow yourselves the time to meditate. Above all, be patient with yourselves as you do so, and ignore all the egoic distractions that tend to pour into your minds as you sit quietly doing nothing, reminding you of all the things you should be doing. It is your determined intent, an ability which will most definitely increase if you persist in meditating regularly, to ignore those distractions that brings you the benefits. And as you succeed in disregarding those distractions, space becomes available for you to hear your spiritual guidance, those intuitive hits that help you to resolve issues that had been troubling you. Success breeds success, And as you learn to resolve personal issues peacefully and gently, your competence in all your fields of endeavor increases. You each have enormous power, enormous capabilities. You know that because there are all those self-help books out there confirming this, and you gain access to them through your meditative practice. The power and importance of a meditative practice can never be overemphasized, simply because it is so powerful. When you are tired or dispirited, it is often very tempting to give your meditation practice a miss. Just for today, you tell yourself. And you remind yourself of how unrewarding it has been for you on previous occasions when you attempted to meditate when you felt like that. However, even though it seems that you are getting no benefit, actually taking the time to sit, despite your reluctance and the expected ineffectiveness you experience while doing so, is beneficial. At a deep level you do know this, so disregard the complaints of your tired and anxious body and enter a meditative state, even if only for a few minutes, because this really does strengthen you. Many of you have at times given up your meditation practice altogether, and then maybe months or even years later you decided to take it up again, and the results were often quite startling as you obtained a forgotten sense of peace and relaxation that you had not enjoyed in a long time. So, if that is where you are, restart your practice right now, enjoy the benefits, and allow love to flow abundantly through you once more, as it will, healing you and those with whom you interact. That is why you are here now, to be a conduit, to the planet and to all the life forms that she supports, through which God's love flows constantly and abundantly. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com